Greetings, friends. I wanted to speak with you today because I've issued a pastoral directive in response to the COVID-19 coronavirus epidemic. I know that there's many opinions and many thoughts, and it's a confusing time. Some of us are uncertain, and some of us are very anxious. But all of us are committed to the well-being not only of our families and ourselves, but hopefully to our neighbors and those around us. This is a time when our vision of a world healed by love is something we can actively engage in doing. My hope is that our churches will be places of sanctuary, but in new ways. Those things we often do in a crisis are things we cannot do right now with as much certainty. Normally we gather for worship, we hug a friend, but both of those activities put people at risk. Known or unknown, hugging a friend or hanging out in groups is not helpful in this time and should not be done. Our churches will continue to be open for now, but each day I will be reviewing best practices, speaking with health professionals, and making sure that what we do is not contributing to a greater problem. In this time of staying home when we might otherwise be gathering at churches, it can seem lonely and isolating. My hope is that we will learn some of what we have learned with Learning Communities Initiative, that we'll put some of that into action and seek new ways of being church. Instead of gathering for Bible study, have a Zoom study or call people on the phone and read the daily office together. Our prayer book is filled with liturgical rites for groups and larger communities. But we forget that it also has resources for individuals who may be feeling anxiety. If you are someone who's feeling great fear, I pray that you'll know that God loves you, your community of faith loves you, and that in this diocese we're all with you in this time. God has created you for a purpose. But a few weeks ago we also reminded ourselves that we are dust, and to dust we shall return. We face death every day. In many ways in our lives. There are risks all around, but most of the time we've gotten used to those risks, and so we take it for granted that we'll make it through the day. This is a time for intentional living, to be aware in the ways in which our space may interact with someone else's space. And I invite you to utilize the prayer book as an opportunity for you to grow in your own faith, in your own understanding of God. On page 136, there are devotionals for individuals and families, a daily office for individuals and families to read, very short, small, something that can be done at home or at work or with friends via Skype or Zoom. There's also the prayers of the people that can be read, and let's not forget the Psalms. Something clergy often do when they're sitting with a sick parishioner is they'll read and pray the Psalms out loud. If you're feeling great anxiety, I encourage you to get your prayer book and read the Psalms out loud. They're a great source of comfort. Each day in the diocese, we will be listing new practices and updates on what's happening in the world. We'll have resources and ways in which to connect with what is real and what is expected to happen. It is my hope that each of us will seek ways of being a help to those around us, that we will truly be learning to love God, one another, and all God has created, knowing that it is not the threat of death that so much overwhelms us as this opportunity for life. How will we use our time, our resources, our abilities in this time? How might we be good news to people who are otherwise not hearing it? I hope you'll be creative, and I hope you'll have fun as you seek new ways to live and be church. It will not be easy. It will involve change, and we're not always comfortable with change. But my prayer for you and for all of us is that we will care about our neighbors and our friends, and that we will seek solace in that love that is never-ending and is unmoved by any circumstance. As Barbara Harris reminded us at my consecration, the God within you is greater than the challenge before you. And I invite your prayers for her as she is in the final days of her life. All of us have a short and brief time on this earth, a time to love one another and to proclaim the love of Jesus to a hurting, confused, and broken world. Let us be people on the way of love. Let us heal the world by the love of Jesus that is within us. Blessings to you this day and always.